Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the XWF podcast with your host, Chronic Chris Page, them no good bastards, Thunder Knuckles, Bobby Bourbon, and yes, if available, Bearded War Pig. And the action starts now.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the XWF podcast. Chronic Chris Page in the driver's seat this evening, being joined by my partners in crime. First, let me throw it over to you, TK, man. How's it going?
Oh, same as always. Good.
Ups, downs, strikes, gutters.
Yep. All of it plus good equals life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a nice way to put a spin on it. Um, not contrary, people are not aware. One of our comrades, just the sheer dedication of this man alone is enough to, make a grown man cry. Uh, our co-host, our counterpart, Mr. Bobby Bourbon, is joining us live via a hospital bed this evening. Burbs, man, let everybody know what's going on. And first of all, TK and I are kind of in the mix. We've spoken to you, we've talked to you. You okay? Is everything? What's going on?
Well, for starters, I was really hoping you'd feed my ego a little bit more before introing me. But since you didn't, I'm going to go ahead and feed my own ego right now as being the greatest hero in XWF broadcast history for broadcasting from my hospital room. Now, in seriousness, um, this is I'm in the hospital. I had some complications with my foot. Everything is going to be a-okay. We got a good game plan for me to get out of here, for my health to be taken care of. But if you really feel bad about it, I can start up a Kickstarter. Because once I'm out of the hospital, I will be enjoying a beautiful brand new debt. Um, no, I can't. I don't want any Kickstarter or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just here trying to, I don't know, maintain the normal. I have nothing else to do. I'm laying in a hospital bed. Like I can sit here and I can watch TV, and I've watched way too much TV recently. Like I watched Monster Truck Racing, which was fascinating, as in, it's both things. It's like the most interesting thing you can watch in the world, but ultimately very boring. It's just oxymoronic like that. And then I watched Seven Little Johnstons on the Learning Channel, which I was talking with TK about it. I don't understand why it's a show. It's really just it's a boring family of seven. The whole hook is that they all have dwarfism, and two of the kids were adopted, so some dwarfs adopted some dwarfs, and I guess that's a novelty enough for me to give a shit about what these people are up to, and they're really just doing mundane shit. They just happen to have dwarfism. Like, man, it's really kind of annoying that I come up with better creative than that and don't get paid for it.
But it's funny what they put on TV nowadays, anyway, right? Like it's just the whole reality world is retarded as is. I mean, it's
Mm.
good. It's good to know that you're on the mend and that you're going to be getting out of there shortly. Again, dedication from hell is to take a podcast, while you're chilling out in a hospital bed. We're only going to pray to the gods above that we get a nurse involved at some point while we're doing this show. TK, I know you and Bobby talk off air frequently. You were the one that kind of brought me in the loop as to what was going on. How are you feeling knowing that your counterpart's going to be getting out of there tomorrow?
Oh, I feel good. I'm glad Robbie's not going to be in there very long.
Now you've been in the hospital for a couple days, right? Or has it just been a day at this point?
It's like yesterday.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
48-hour stay is 48 hours too long, right?
yeah, yeah. It's nothing great, but at the same time, it's my situation isn't as dire as some other folks that got to go to the hospital. I'm fortunate for that. Um, and I'm accepting thoughts and prayers. If you're a little more secular, or you're not religious, then I'm staying hydrated. Um, yeah.
Always got the good attitude, Bobby. Man, it's good to know that you're on the way back. We've got a pretty interesting show to talk about today. It's going to be another shove it show. Or would it be considered a shove it at this point? Like it's a retro anarchy, right? Like so that wouldn't necessarily fall under a shove it category. Am I wrong?
It's guest run. I don't know. It's definitely not a shove it, but it is run by a guest, and it is within the normal continuity and scheduling of Anarchy.
The guest that's running this show is actually our guest here today. Let's bring him on in. Good friend of the show, Centurion. Welcome back to the XWF podcast and your Retro Anarchy show, man. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Good to talk to you guys. Shame to hear about Robbie. I hope you get better. You are, I mean, out of the two of you, you are absolutely my favorite bastard. So the fact that you're laid up is unfortunate. Um, but but yeah, it's I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to talk about this show.
I know TK's hurt by that last statement, aren't you, brother?
I'm just tore the fuck up.
I can sense your tears from South St. Petersburg right now, brother. I feel for you.
I don't know if you could hear my smile.
So Centurion, man, Retro Anarchy. Before we talk about the show, let's talk about the concept behind it. What brought this show on?
So I've had this idea in my head since Vinny kind of brought Anarchy back. It was more of a matter of trying to find a way of what I wanted to do and how to do it. Um, uh, Anarchy's been around now for, in one form or another, for about 20 years. And I wanted to do some sort of do something to kind of do a nostalgia part. WWE does it all the time. They do retro Raw or throwback SmackDown or whatever, and they bring old people back and oh look, it's basically a way to pop ratings, and that's kind of what I'm doing is I'm popping ratings. But at the same time, I also wanted to highlight certain things, like part of what will be in this show, to give you a bit of a heads up, is I'm going to be highlighting old matches from various anarchies. And I thought that set the tone for the show over the years. So you'll get something from 2003. You'll get something from last year, and it's gonna sort of span the gamut. But it's kind of a way to bridge, the gap between the folks that came here before, and then you've got like the folks that run this show now and do it with pride. So that was my idea for this.
It's a good take, and it's a definitely good direction to have. I like the idea of splicing in some of the older matches and interweaving it throughout the show. Uh, Actually, looking forward to that. Looking to see what you can dig up from the past. Means you're doing a lot of research on it. Am I right?
Yeah, I've been going through now. I mean, since I talked to Vinny and we basically said that this was going to be the date of this show, I've been going through like as much as I can and finding as much in terms of old shows that I can to be able to put on this. Going back and digging through has been fun because there's a lot of things that I forgot, and I've been here for a very long time. And um, to be able to do that now and then bring a little bit of that forward for a group of folks that weren't around and didn't know some of these folks. You're gonna see names that in a results format that you probably heard of, but you probably never read a match of, you just know them by name. And so that's a part of this that I wanted to show is some of the names that went through here that maybe have been lost a little bit, but they shouldn't be.
Gonna be interested to see that and see what kind of names from the past that you throw out there because I'm fairly positive I'm gonna know some of them, if not all of them. I mean, Jesus Christ, I think we've both been in the game about the same amount of time. Uh, Maybe I don't know. I got into it in like 97, 98 ish, somewhere in there. Um, TK,
Yeah,
man.
you were
Go
you
ahead.
were in the game longer. I was in the XWF longer, so it's like you've got the writing background, but I've got the more of the lore.
Yeah, you definitely have more fed knowledge of characters and shit like that. So it's going to be good to see some of these blasts from the past getting a little bit of airtime here in the future. Actually, TK, I'm coming to you second. Bobby, what do you when you saw the Retro Anarchy and got the feel of got the concept and got the feel of the show? I mean, you jumped on pretty quick, right?
Yeah. It looks like the kind of card that you wanted to be able, because it's something that somebody's going to be able to talk about. And a lot of older heads are going to be coming back to see this card. I figure giving myself that exposure by, presenting them, something that's a little more contemporary XWF at the same time, wouldn't be a bad idea.
Not at all. Okay, same question for you. I know that the Thunder Knuckles will not be appearing in a fighting capacity, but I'm sure if one bastard's on the show, we're probably going to see the other one in some form or fashion. Uh, when you saw the retro aspect of the show, like what was your initial thought?
I really like the idea of it, but with that said, if there was a way to hate it, I would, because it was Sin's idea. So
Well, I mean, Centurion, let's talk about you threw the opt-in up. You got your people that signed up for your show. This bad boy is going to be coming to us from I'm stoned. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. We're going to be at the National Sports Stadium, host of about 30,000, give or take, on hand, serving up some of the greatest beef that we've probably ever tasted in our lives. Let's what prompted you to take this show over to Mongolia?
So I kind of came up with the idea after the whole leap of faith on the moon thing, which was taking the XWF to places it's never been before. Um, we've been all over the globe. I mean, we've wrestled in as weird of places as you could possibly imagine, but we've never been to Mongolia. And so my thought process there was, okay, there's this stadium. This is going to be a group of people that I'm sure dying for live sports, because it's not like they've got you know NFL football over there or whatever. So they're looking for something. Bring the XWF over there. Bring some big names over there. We could sell this thing out.
Well, I mean, 30,000 strong, going to be on hand and on deck, and you've got a pretty good little card that you've got assembled here. We'll go into going into the first match.
The Dark Gilmore, Michael Peter Graves versus Marv Swaysons.
This is going to be contested under extreme rules. Sent, let's go to you first. This is kicking off your program. What brought this pairing on?
It was almost like a light bulb went off in my head. I'm trying to figure out who. I think it was Graves that came in first, and then when I saw Marv signed up, I'm like, okay, well, I got to put these two together, just because the fact that the Dark Grim Warrior and Marv Swaysons, like I'm just imagining the commentators trying to commentate this thing would be even hilarious in and of itself. But I think of two. They're two good role players, but they're two very. I'm gonna put as lightly as I can. Graves is a weirdo, okay, and I knew if you put him in a situation where he's got to face someone like Marv, who we know is a great role player with a very interesting character, that something was going to happen. And so that's what I was thinking is okay, put Graves in a situation where he's got to make something happen. Now, as we write, this is a one role play match, and he's put up 12 role plays so far. So that's a little bit more than I thought was going to occur.
In his defense, it does not say what the role play limit is.
It
It just
100%
says
does.
where. So
Right
I'm looking
above it,
at it.
all matches, anarchy rules unless otherwise stated.
Uh, So one role play at 1,000 words, right?
Correct.
Wow. Okay, I stand corrected. So you get one role play, 1,000 words, and of course, Michael Peter Graves is doing some shit for sure. Bobby Bourbon, let's
Go
talk about the.
all. I gotta go through
Uh,
all 24 role plays and pick out the best 1,000 words. And
oh
like Jerry,
wow. I would just make his first role play be it, and then just qualify everything that came after it.
that's probably what I'm gonna do.
That's what I would do if I'm in that situation. Burbs, chat me up. What do you think about the shenanigans of Michael Graves on the boards right now, in this contest with Marv?
I think it's making me laugh. It's pretty funny what he's up to. Um, Marv, I haven't read his work yet, but I look forward to reading the match. That's for certain. I
Yeah.
think it could be a very good match.
Okay, what are you thinking here?
Well, I think Michael Graves never wins anything, so he's just too weird of a fucking guy. Uh, just
Are we
this is
talking
gonna
in
be
character or out of character here?
in character. Michael Graves wins shit. So, uh, Marv Swason's, he's good. I like him a lot. I think this match is going to be a lot of fun with Graves putting in all the extra work. I mean, it's funny shit. So, it's been a trip so far.
It's gonna take us into match number 2. Joey Oddjobs is taking on the returning Honky Lighthouse King of the Jobbers match. Centurion. When I saw Honky's name on this goddamn show, like I marked out. I'm not even gonna lie. It just flashed me back almost 10 years.
Yeah. When I was putting together this show, I knew I had to find a way to put Honky on this show in one way. It's just because he makes me smile so much. Like I kind of wish I was able to get Mung Bean as well. I thought that would have been a great combination. But to have a Honky come back and face, of course, the best of the jobbers, Joey Oddjobs, um, in a match where I'm sure Honky Lighthouse thinks that he will win. Ha ha ha.
Pretty much. And for those of you who don't know, what Centurion just did, that was a honky. That was what we called a honky house roleplay.
His role plays in the past literally were him putting up a role play that's just said, "I will win." Ha ha ha.
Correct.
Fantastic.
And when
I like
when he
that.
did not win, he would get upset. So it was. I don't know who handled that character, if that was a rib or if that was legit. But if it was legit, goddamn, I'm
It
sorry.
couldn't have been legit.
You
It
never
could
know,
not.
man. Stranger goddamn things have happened, dude. Like you don't know. I mean, you've seen the Sentinel Minyat Seeking. That's all I gotta say.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, come on now. Like it's just, let's be real here. Like it's there are some legit dumb fuckers among us. Like it's just a fact. Uh, Burbs, Joey Oddjobs, and Honky Lighthouse. Who is going to be the king of the jobbers?
I am not familiar with either of their work. I look forward to seeing what happens. I think it's gonna be fun.
TK.
I'm with
Oh, you're an
Burbs.
Oddjobs man.
I'm with Burbs. I don't know either character really, but I know Joey Oddjobs is not one of the best jobbers because that's Big Puddin' and Herschel Kiss. So I just look forward to reading the match.
Here's an interesting one. All right, give me the concept behind this Centurion. The squash match. Real Dixon and it's John Black. Chat me up. What is this about?
So this I can't take credit for this one. This is Ruby. Um, when we said that we were going to do a joint show together, she said, "Well, we have to have a literal squash match." And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" And she said, "I don't know." So I sent it over to Vinny. Said we're going to have a squash match. He said, "Okay, what does that mean?" And we said, "We don't know." And this is what they came up with: was a garden full of gourds. Um, so this was the brainchild of Ruby, then distilled through Vinny Lane.
Incredible concept. So Bourbon, who's getting squashed here?
Well, I think that I got a chuckle when I read the concept. I think that I'm gonna have to go with Rel on this one or John Black. I, I think if Rel puts in maximum effort, Rel can do it. But who knows? Sometimes Rel just doesn't put in that effort, so it could just be a squash.
See
TK,
what you did there.
thank you.
DK.
I love the idea of the match, the squash match. The fact that it's just gourds, uh, beautiful. I can't wait to see how they're used as weapons. you know, does somebody's head get stuck in one? You know, that would be pretty funny. It'd be pretty fucking funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think I'm not going to make a prediction. That's not what. Nope, not doing it.
Well, I mean, if I had to make a prediction, I'm going with friend of the show, John Black. But I do think that whoever writes this match, if they have some creativity in them, they could utilize the fuck out of the gourds. I could see somebody getting smashed over the head and walking around with one blinded, and just odds and ends that could happen there. There's room for this match to be very, very, very entertaining. Uh, Centurion, you better get on whoever's writing that. You better tell them.
I've
There's
I've I've got a good. I can spoil it for you that it will be Mr. Vinny Lane that writes this match.
Oh, we're in good hands. Oh, we're in good hands.
I think
Uh,
if you want someone that's going to do something weird, let's give it to the originator of weird.
yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it makes sense. The shoe fits, right? Wear it.
Yeah.
Uh, get into your next match. Corey Smith, Leap of Faith winner, briefcase holder, taking on Felix Jones, who's not been around in a while, but he's had stints here and there. And Cent, let's go. Let's go to you first, and the booking behind the match, and what are you expecting out of it?
Yeah, I'm surprised Felix jumped into this. We haven't seen him in a while. I'm happy that he's coming in. He had a stretch there where he was very good. So I want to see. I want basically wanted to put his feet to the fire, and there is no bigger fire than Corey Smith. Now, because of the role play rules, I think Corey's hampered a little bit because he's a chatter, and he's not going to be able to do as much this time around. So he's gonna have to keep it tight. Um, but this should be a very compelling match. It should be one of those matches that um, it all depends on uh, what we see from each person. I don't know what Felix if Felix has been doing anywhere else, doing anything else on the side or whatnot. But this is just for everything else is all weird and dipped out and everything else. This is just a straight up match, and we'll see. Role play versus role play, and see what happens.
TK, I'm gonna come to you first. Corey and Felix, man.
I like seeing Felix back. For a while, he was Extreme Champion, correct? Just
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I
okay.
remember.
That's what I remember. I'm glad he's back. He's got his feet right in the fire. Put him in there. So I hope he shows up and shells out.
Mr. Bourbon.
Yes, I think that this is going to be a big test for Felix Jones. And I want to see what Corey does because Corey has a lot of stuff to talk about, I suppose, for winning the leap of faith and seeing how he advances his character here is going to be interesting if he does anything um, for the with that on the card itself, not just on the boards.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the 1,000 words. And Corey's a really good writer, so I don't see where that's going to hinder him too much. If this is ever a handicap towards him, this would be it because he does have to get a lot in a short amount of time. We're going to see what happens here. We'll see if Nathan shows. If he shows up, then we got ourselves a really interesting contest just based off of the role play structure itself. Bring us into your first of 3 championship matches. This is going to be for the Internet Championship. We've got the returning Roxy Cotton, and she's going to be taking on Bob's own Atara Themis, who's coming in as the Internet Champion as well as the Shooting Star Champion, rocking double gold. Centurion, your first championship match on the card. Atara, Roxy. Chat me up on this one.
Yeah, I was stoked when I got word that Roxy wanted to be part of this show, and the moment that I heard that, I think Atara was one of the very first people that said that she wanted to be on the show. It just made all the sense in the world to put them together. I think this is very compelling, even for I don't know if they're gonna, because it's an internet rules. They're probably not going to role play traditional style like you normally would. But I think that that story that they're going to be able to tell through both social media as well as the match itself is going to be incredibly compelling. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing sort of the next phase of Atara now that she is double champion. I mean, we're not. This isn't a recap show, but her leap of faith was phenomenal, and this is sort of the next. This is the first show after the big coming out party, the second coming out party of Addie. So we will see. This should be very, very interesting, and I love the fact that I can get this on my.
I do too. I think that the sky's the limit for this one, and I mean, I'm not a big Twitter guy, as everyone's aware, but I may be tuning in on a daily to see the activities that go on with this. Bobby Bourbon, Bob's own double champion, coming into to this Retro Anarchy against Roxy Cotton. What are your thoughts on it?
I think Atara's coming out swinging. She's swinging super hard. She's swinging for the fences. I think this one is it's a foregone conclusion. Atara is going to retain the Internet Championship. Nice to see Roxy again. Hope to see her again soon.
TK.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment. I think Atara is not afraid of taking on Apex or Legacy. I don't think she fears Roxy Cotton too much on the Twitter.
Ape leg.
Ape leg. Hashtag that shit.
I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good title match to start off the series of title matches. You're going to go into your next one as another fellow Bob member and $1 billion champion, the $1 billion man, Big Money Oswald. Let's take it on Dick Powers here. Centurion, love this booking.
I almost wanted to make this the main event, to be honest with you. This is like I'm so freaking stoked. The first of all, to even have Dick Powers on the show to begin with, I was really excited, and then he was the one that came up with the suggestion of doing it against Oswald, and Oswald has been putting up some really great stuff. He's a very interesting character, especially lately. This was just one that I know it's one role play at 1,000 words, but if the two of them just want to just keep writing, you guys go right ahead. As far as I'm concerned, because this is just gonna be
Well, anytime you've got Dick on your show, it's bound to pop huge, right? TK, Dick Powers,
Let's see what
Oswald.
you did there.
Thank you. Oswald and Big Dick. Where you at with it?
Well, if Dick was here, he would tell us all we're welcome. Big Money Oswald's been putting in hella work lately. Last time I bet against Dick, I lost. Uh, but I have to go with Ozzy. I don't see that belt ever leaving his waist. I just don't.
Bourbon.
Can't bet against penis, but I'm going with Oswald.
Well, I think that this being in 1,000 words, no doubt that Dick is going to come prepared for Oswald, but I think this is Ozzy's to win as well, and you know Dick's probably going to go limp on this one.
Maybe. That is a good question. Can Ozzy beat that Dick?
Can he beat that Dick into submission?
I know. Can he beat that Dick like it owes him money?
Can he beat that Dick like he owes it money? It's going to be a good one, and I would not have been upset if it headlined this show, Centurion. I laughed when I saw it. I think it's going to be great, and you know, Ozzy, don't steer us wrong here, brother. We're pulling for you. I'm seeing a trend here amongst the upper card of your show, Centurion. Do you see the same trend that I'm seeing as we go into this next match?
Um, I don't know.
Bob's own one half
Oh,
of the
well, yeah,
world.
okay. When you have 900 members, you're going to be on almost every match.
I listen. We can't help it that we draw. We can't help it. Actually, we can. We were born this way. That's an in character response. Bob's own one half of the World Tag Team Champions. I was really excited. Real shit. Let's get on to the real subject. I was really excited to see this booking. It's rare that we get to see Bobby Bourbon in singles action. Um, after forming them No Good Bastards, they've been dominant. But for those who are unfamiliar, Bobby was an accomplished single star as well. Betsy, after stepping into this limelight with Apex Prophecy, uh, she's front and
Apex
center.
Legacy.
Apex
Uh,
Legacy.
Whatever. That's just how irrelevant they are to me right now. Ape Leg is more funny. Uh, you've got you've got Bobby Bourbon taking on Betsy Granger. Cent, talk to me about this one.
Yeah, this was I believe Bobby and Betsy came up with this on their own accord, which I'm not going to say no to this match. Absolutely not. It's very compelling. You've got two folks. Betsy's coming off a loss, so she needs a big win to propel her forward. Bobby, with his team with TK, have been just on freaking fire. Um, this should be the work should be very, very good, and the fact that it's under Savage rules, I think, only elevates this match even further. So we get two role plays to be able to flesh this out. So I'm really looking forward to it, um, and I'm glad that they came up with this idea.
Before I go to Bobby, I'm gonna go to TK first. Bobby and Betsy Granger, huge implications coming off of Leap of Faith.
Oh yeah. Betsy left. Betsy and the rest of Apex Legacy. Uh,
You said it right the
left
first time.
us. Oh, my bad. Left all of Bob laying, and Bobby's the first to get his hands on a member. So this should prove to be entertaining.
Let me take it over to one of the men, well, the man who's actually kind of responsible for bringing us this. Bobby Bourbon, you and Betsy. Let's get your thoughts.
Well, out of character, I look forward to working with Betsy. She's a phenomenal writer. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. In character, last we saw any interaction between Bourbon and Betsy was at Leap of Faith. And he was getting jumped by Apex Legacy. Before that, though, he was trying to save her from being blown into outer space from an airlock. Before that, he was just a complete and utter gentleman to her at Valentine's Day. So Bourbon might be a little bit jilted, but the cool thing is I get to go into the depth. I get to do the Bourbon like origins of why Bobby Bourbon joined Bob, and I hope everybody's really. I hope everybody likes it.
I think it's great that you're taking that perspective of it and spinning it, so you got your perspective of the whole Bob thing. I think the match is going to be fucking phenomenal. I don't know what's in store, but I think it's a huge win for everybody. And the fact that we get two role plays under the Savage rules opens it up a little bit more, but for this show specifically, for both of you guys to shine. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I do hope that Bob's goes ahead and sits down the first member of Ape Leg to cross our paths. Pulling for you, Bobby. Um, it's going to take us into, you know, Centurion's a special tag match. You and the original Maverick. I want you to give us that story of the wild cards coming back together to take on the odd pairing of Barney Green and Sinister Seth Stevens.
So I came up with this idea originally after talking to pull the curtain back a little bit. Maverick, the original Maverick, is my real life brother. He's been out of the game for a very long time. I mentioned to him sort of about this, and we didn't. We felt like we left stuff out there when the XX show went down. That was the last sort of reboot of the wild cards.
Hmm.
We were a phenomenal faction back in the day. It was me and Maverick and Steve Jason, the brand, and a guy named Roller. It just rocked it. And so we wanted to be able to bring sort of that back to sort of show people what this was, like the original dynamic of it. And we feel like there was a little bit that needed to be done after XX, and so that's why I wanted to do a tag match with him. I knew that in one way or another, I wanted Barney Green on this show for his overall just um, contributions to the Fed. That I wanted Barney Green on the show, and if at all possible, I wanted him in the match with me because I know that he brings out the best of me, and I bring out the best of him sometimes. The Seth Stevens thing, a lot of people don't remember the sort of the short Seth Stevens runs that he was here, but he was a double champion. Extreme champion, cruiserweight champion, held both belts at the same time, defended them both in the same show. And I wanted to use him because he wasn't at that XX show. We haven't heard from him in a while, and I wanted to at least give him a little bit of a shine to get people to remember some, like I said earlier, some of these folks that may have been lost sort of in time, but that were really great characters and stuff. So I wanted Seth Stevens to have that other role. Um, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm writing this match, and I've gotten the entrances down, and I've remembered how much I hate writing matches because it's really really hard. But I hope I put something up there that is worthy of the names that are on.
I mean, it's a throwback tag match. When I see the Seth Stevens name on the card, like I draw back and you know, I've worked with the character several times in the past and love Barney Green. He's a cult classic. He's got a cult like following. TK, let me go to you first. Centurion and the original Maverick, this throwback tag match. We know that them no good bastards are going to be in the house. Were they going to have their eyes on this?
Um, that's a tag team I've never seen. There's a couple names in here I haven't seen. I haven't seen the original Maverick or the sinister Seth Stevens. So I'm interested to see what they got. Uh, no, I'm gonna take Barney and Seth there because Centurion. But yeah,
Yeah, we fucking hate we hate that guy, don't
yeah, I fucking dislike him so much.
we? Bobby Bourbon.
Oh, I didn't know that factoid that, Maverick, the original Maverick, was Sen's brother. I think it's going to be, I like to see the cohesion between that. That's going to be cool. Definitely rooting for Barney Green. I know absolutely nothing about Seth Stevens. So I look forward to reading all of the work between everybody. I think it's going to be a lot. I think that's going to be a treat.
We're gonna move into, I guess that would technically kind of start the upper card of your show. Would be that throwback tag match, uh, a match that I'm kind of got my eyes on now. Uh, Yet another member of Bob, Dolly Waters. The recent joining of Dolly Waters is going to take on the what I consider the Queen of Anarchy at this point, Ruby. Uh, this one's got like fun legit written all over it because it's in a fairground funhouse match. Centurion, talk to me about this and tell me who's writing it because this has got all kinds of creativity written all over it.
Well, so it's the Super Dero herself that's going to be writing it. It
Oh,
was, yeah,
yes.
she was the one that came up with the. I came up with the opponent when Dolly joined up. I said I really want to put you with Ruby, because I love both characters, and I think as writers, I think they're going to complement each other very well. But as far as the match goes, the match stipulation and how that's all Ruby. That was all her idea. The stip, the no trash talk stip, of course, that's a Ruby idea. So she's the one that's going to write it. I expect nothing more than just weird shenanigans. Um, Probably, you know, ball pits and fun slides. I would think all of that. Maybe a funhouse mirror. Who knows?
What I think's more interesting about this is not like a pinfall match. Like this is a race through this fun house where you can legit just like thrash each other throughout it as long as you come out the first person on the other end. And apparently you cannot skip a section either because that will result in a disqualification. As far as creativity, as far as the match is concerned and the concept of it, I love it. I think that it's great. Bobby Bourbon, let me come to you first because if anybody would have the respect of the Fairground Funhouse, it would be you.
Why, I guess. I think that this is this is going to be interesting. I can't really I don't want to comment too much on it because it is way out there. So I think it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. TK, what do you think?
Well, I really love the Funhouse race idea. Just like the squash match, there's a lot of possibilities here with the match writing as far as that goes. I think this could be a really, really fun match. Uh, Dolly and Ruby both are really good writers, so I don't see how this one's going to be bad at all.
It's got
And I
it's
will
got
say,
Go ahead.
I will say, it's interesting how the cards laid out, and I sort of did this purposely, where you've got Centurion, you have the wild cards, Barney Green, Seth Stevens, Extreme Rules. That's as old school anarchy as you can get. And the very next match is with Ruby in a funhouse race, as new school anarchy as you could possibly get. So there's your dynamic there.
Good point.
There's continuity for sure scattered throughout. Looks like it's got entertainment value written all over it. Your semi main event is another interesting one. It's the nefarious Ned K. He's going to be taking on the returning Game Girl. This is the Void of the Mind match. Sent, why don't you tell us what that means?
I don't know.
Read the
This is
caption. There's a whole paragraph. That's why I threw it to
I
you.
I I know, and I've read it like 5 or 6 times, and I still don't quite understand it. This was 100% a Ruby idea, um, and she said, "If I can get Game Girl, do you want to do a Void of the Mind match?" All right, that sounds good to me. Um, it's amazing how her brain works because in my mind I would have been like, oh, I could get Ned K and Game Girl comes back, we could have a match, and she goes, no, we're going to do a speed run of a video game that Ned K created for a role play that he did last month. Ooh, okay,
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. So far, it's been all right.
I'm all right. How's that go?
Well, prognosis
Ladies
is not
and
so great.
gentlemen,
But it's easy.
have a nurse.
Greeted your toe.
Yes.
That was pretty interesting.
Gotcha.
Doctor, is he gonna die?
No pain.
We're all quiet because we have a nurse tending to our fallen herbs.
Lauren, if you want to say hi to everybody, this is Lauren. She's my nurse right now.
Hi, Lauren. Welcome to the podcast.
Awesome.
We have a run in from Nurse Lauren. We're going to entertain her for a moment while she works on our third host here. So, Cent, go back to it, man. Tell me what this is.
I'm interested in seeing it myself. What I do love about it is you've got two of the most creative people on the roster. The Game Girl character. I hope that this isn't a one-off and we get more from this character because I loved what I've seen before from her. I think it's a fantastic stuff. Ned K, his mind is just constantly working like a machine. The wheels are the cogs are just in a constant state of turn. So I think this is going to be very, very interesting. I don't know if this is something that goes throughout the course of the day, if it's going to take place right here. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to know when you guys know. That's the fun part about it.
TK, what are you thinking about this one?
I think it's going to be a fun match to read. The speed run is just two people playing video games, right? But Game Girl was a game, correct? Just like a glitch.
No, we don't.
I might be wrong.
No, we don't have.
Yeah, Game Girl was in like a character in a video game or something. Was that came to life? I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well,
Not
it,
not keep in mind. Listen to the match and the way this match is written out, and then think of me.
okay.
You good?
Okay.
So you're telling us we're supposed to hate it?
No.
Oh,
I'm saying that clearly this was not my creation because I couldn't have thought of something.
Right. That's
okay.
I can expand a little bit on the Game Girl character. I have faced her in the past. She was my first title shot way back in I think 2015. Um, awesome character, awesome character, and seeing this go down, like I went. This is what I'm seeing this matchup. This is the legit Game Girl back. And there's going to be more. I'm excited. The character it is a video game character that somehow bridges into the real world. And the way it does that, I can't really describe because when I wrote against her, I had Bourbon go into the video game world, but he went into the wrong game. And that's kind of why Bourbon looks in the way he does on the video games sometimes. And we had an amazing match. It was like an awesome match I got to write. Bingo and Bourbon teaming up like a monster for Final Fantasy. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for this. I look forward to this. Everybody's in for a treat. I don't know who's writing the match, but Ned's work is good. So is Game Girls, and this is going to be this. This honestly should be on a pay-per-view. This is pay-per-view quality match.
Safe to say that you're excited for this one, huh?
Yeah.
Is Lauren still in the equation, or did she leave us?
No. She is leading the charge of an entirely short-staffed. She is taking care of everybody else on the floor right now.
Oh well. So next time you see her, tell her thanks for joining us for a minute. It was good to have that run in.
Yeah.
And Oscar's gonna go.
She's really cool. We were talking about horror movies yesterday. Cool people.
So we got your main event now by circumstance is now an Extreme Championship match. It is the new Extreme Champion Lacana taking on the former Universal Champion Chronic Chris Page. Cent, let me go to you first for the booking, and I know this was one that I saw her on the thread and just said, "Hey, you want to dance?" And she said, "Yeah." So it's pretty simple. But what are you thinking about the now with the Extreme title being in the mix?
Yeah, this went from being just like a really good match with not a lot of consequences to it, to a match that's going to have a lot of consequences like down the road. Because we're talking extreme title match. We know sort of Chris Page and coming off of that loss, he's going to be looking to get back on the train here. He's got a universal title match stored because if you get cashed in on, you have a rematch clause regardless. But he got cashed in on by someone who won the 24/7 briefcase because he had the extreme title for 5 defenses. So just that adds a little bit of wrinkle to this. You've got Lycana, who took down the completely unbeatable, we thought, Alias. This is her first defense. If she gets past Chris Page, it is very conceivable that she could possibly get that five defenses and get the briefcase herself. This is going to be huge, and it was main event before. Now it makes all the sense in the world that it's main event because whatever happens here, we got a storyline going forward.
Yeah, this one's gonna be huge. And when we figured out we were doing this podcast today, I reached out to the one and only Lacana herself, and she's actually here now. So let's bring her in. Lacana, congratulations, Extreme Champion. Great win at Leap of Faith against Alias. Now it's like baptism by fire with the title defense.
Thank you. It's not what I expected when I agreed to have a match with you, but it was a great title run and I really enjoyed it.
Well, behind the curtain, if I would have left Leap of Faith, excuse me, with the uni, this would have been for the Universal Championship. Sorry, guys, that's just really good pot. Uh, excuse me. So you and I are headlining this show. Get your perspective on it, like, and then well, I guess I'll start first. So like I've OC have like legit been trying to figure out a way to work with Lacana since she came into the Fed in November. Uh, and when she started, getting steam and like putting up quality work and establishing the character by January, I think I was reaching out to you and was like, at some point, I want to try and do something, this because I think that there's a story here and I think there's something we could do. We haven't been able to get that opportunity, and I saw you sign up for this show. At that point in time, you were not the Extreme Champion, and Leap of Faith that was on the forefront and not in the rear view. So I jumped all over it because if this was the only shot we had to do it, I wanted to go ahead and get it done. So to see that we're headlining the show, number one, it's going to be great. I'm writing the match, just so you know, and it's already looking pretty good. I'm really looking forward to getting in there with you. This is going to be huge. So your perspective, where are you at? What are you thinking? When you saw me answer or issue the challenge, what went through your head?
First thing that went through my head was, oh, fuck. I had on the podcast with Marv said that you were one of the ones I wanted to face, and I didn't expect it to happen quite so soon. So when you messaged me and told me to go look at the thread, I about cried. And actually, right now, I feel very calm and I feel really good. I just put up my first a little while ago, and I read yours, and I think it's going to be a very interesting week with what we both put up. Um,
I got some shit for you. I'm just letting you know now. I got some shit for you.
I'm not
But
surprised.
it's not going to be the usual song and dance that you've probably been accustomed to. I think all that stuff's kind of played out, so I'm gonna try some different directions and some different things. And I promise you this: I will give you my very best. And I know that I'll get it out of you. And that's another reason why I was so like kind of adamant about working with you, because when you deal with writers, like there's a lot of untapped potential with you, and this is no bullshit. I've had this conversation with you privately, and I don't mind having it for everybody to hear. You are so close to breaking through that huge that glass ceiling that I like to refer to in my role plays. You're so close to just busting through it. The win over Alias shattered it. If you get past me, defend this championship, I have to agree with Centurion that there's nobody out there that would be able to touch you right now. It's a big deal for the Lycana character. You can track this shit back to March Madness. You had that win over Ash. The only taste of defeat was at the hands of the bastards at Leap of Faith. And that wasn't a pinfall. That was being put through a table or a glass table. This is a big deal. TK, what are you thinking about this? And now with it being for the Extreme Championship.
Well, first, I want to say congratulations, Lycana, on your Extreme Championship win.
Thank you again.
And this match, I'm really looking forward to this. This is the match I'm most excited for, because I think Lycana's gonna beat Chris Page. That's what I think.
Bobby Bourbon, man.
Well, the main event, I think, is going to be a hot one. And for starters, Lakana, glad to have you on the podcast. Good to talk with you again. Congratulations on beating Alias. That's no small feat. I'm looking forward to this one. I think that I think what you said about her breaking through the glass ceiling, that's one way of putting it. I think this is this is a chance for her to keep riding that momentum and keep moving onward and upward. Um, if this and since this is by default a defense of the Universal Championship, your first defense is against or a defense of the Extreme Championship. Your first defense against the formerly Universal Champion, that's huge. So this is gonna be a big one. This is a money match. It's I can't think of any other match on the card that should be the main event.
Centurion, now that you got Lacana on the line, it didn't get to you. I don't. Do you have any questions or anything you want to chat with her about?
No, I mean, I don't really have anything in terms of questions. I just think it was incredibly impressive to take down Alias. We knew whoever was going to do it, it was going to be a huge moment for them. For it to be Lycana and to do it at the same exact show that Alias wins the Universal title, I think that just puts Lycana on an upper echelon now. If you say you've got tiers in the XWF with like certain people going after certain titles and different lanes and stuff, you have to put now like top tier.
Doing some shit, Lacana.
Um, for me with this match, it's my moment to prove that I actually deserve this, and I'm not going to leave any crumbs when I come for you. I've been thinking about this for a long time. When, like you said, you talked to me, one of the first things you said to me is, I want to work against you.
Correct.
And that stuck with me, and I almost shit myself.
I don't know
And
why. I mean, I'm okay. I see things in you, and I see things in several other people on the roster that, like, sometimes when you go against people that, I'm not gonna say they're better, because I wouldn't classify myself as better than anybody, but I've been in the game for a long time. You can bring certain things out of people, and that's what I'm hoping to do with this, is to get you to tap into a different level that you didn't know you had. Make sense?
It makes sense. I feel like I hit that already working on this first one, and I left a lot in the tank to come for you.
Yeah, well, didn't ask you to drop 7,000 words on me off of Jump Street, but you know, you did what you had to do. And one thing's for certain, this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one on the boards. It's going to be a good one in the ring. The one thing that I will say is good luck, and I look forward to seeing how this one's going to turn out. Because if you get past me, and this is if I wasn't Chris Page and somebody else was, if you get past Chris Page, the way that the character has been built, and the way that the way that in general the way the character's been built since November of last year, to me it's a big deal because Alias pinning me and cashing in on me at Leap of Faith was the first pinfall loss since night 3 of Relentless last year. If Lacana was to somehow manage to legit pin me and retain her title, over. It's a ball game. Does anybody else disagree with that?
No, I think that's pretty spot on.
It's gonna be fun, girl. It's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Centurion, let me come back to you. Your final thoughts on the Retro Anarchy card.
Yeah, I'm just happy that people jumped onto this idea pretty quick. It was it was not difficult to find folks to sign on, which is awesome. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing how the show ends. I'm actually a little nervous because this is only the second show I've put together in its entirety. I mean, since I don't know whatever I was helping put together stuff for WGWF. So and I'm hoping to come. I'm hoping the show reads as good as the work that's going to be put into the writing, and that's going to be my big focus.
But you know, you got people at your disposal. You got Vinny, Theo, me, uh, several other people that have been around and know how to put some shit together. You know, always run it by us if you want to. I'm sure that I know I can only speak for myself. I'll help you out as much as I need to. OOC, the only reason I signed up for the show, well, two reasons. Was I saw that Lacana was on it, and the other piece of it was while I will in character hate you all day every day, I had a character love you to death, and when I saw it was your show, I jumped on it. I always knew that I was going to sign up for it. I just wanted to see what all transpired and who all signed up first, because then you started seeing people pair off, and I wanted to see what kind of what was there. Um, and when nobody snagged Lacana, I was like, yeah, let me see if she'll do this, and the rest is history. But a good piece of my involvement is because of you, just because of how far back you and I go.
Well, that's the kindest thing probably anyone has ever said to me in this game, especially anyone in this current podcast at this moment.
You can't expect TK to compliment you. That's just not gonna happen.
Maybe 20 years from now, I'll get TK to say, you know what, you're all right. Sam.
Yeah.
Well,
TK, I don't think that.
well, I mean, I know this card is going to be great. It is great. Uh, the the card itself, when it's written, is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I can promise that I will hate it. So,
I expect nothing more.
all right.
Bobby Bourbon, your final thoughts on the Retro Anarchy card?
Well, to quote my partner, I think you guys said it best. I think that again, it looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to read and a lot of fun to be a part
Icona, the Extreme Champion, headlining the show. What are your thoughts on the entire card, and what are you hoping it leads to?
I think the whole card looks absolutely amazing. For me, the matches that have a little bit more interesting things going on, the Funhouse and the Gourd match, I'm really looking forward to seeing how those go. Um, all in all, I can't wait to see all the characters that I know absolutely nothing about come back and see what they have to offer. I think this can lead into a lot of fun ideas for the future. And hopefully, some of the people aren't just coming back for one offs. Maybe they'll stick around and decide they want to role play again.
In a perfect world, right? Usually when shows like these are put together, you kind of hope that one or two will hang around and jump into a story with somebody. And then you could look at the event to be like a massive, massive success. All in all, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. You know, we're about a week away. I guess, guys, with all that being said, there's really only one more thing to do. Bobby, do you want to throw this out and take us out since you're thrown into the hospital?
Really, you're gonna make me work extra hard even though I'm in the hospital. Thanks a lot, Chris. I see how it goes.
I
No,
just,
no,
you
no,
know, if you wanted to
well,
pitch it to Vinny, I don't know if you wanted to. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, we can pitch it to Vinny, but if we're gonna pitch it to me, then I guess swing and a miss.
Okay, well, all that being said, Vinny Lane, take us out.
Not a problem. Today, tomorrow, every day hereafter, till the end of time. Go fuck yourself, Ghost Tank.
Thanks for listening to the XWF podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the XWF YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at XWF1999. And don't forget to check us out at XWF999.com. Be sure to join us next time where the action never slows down.